The episode picked up right where it left off. The girl was accusing Ken of lying about his name because, of course, she had a thing for Ken Takakura, the actor. It was at this point the audience saw the stakes. If she didn't keep a constant check on the curse, it would hijack the boy's body like a bad Airbnb guest. And sure enough, as soon as the Diddy curse took over, the first thing out of his mouth was a creepy request for baby oil.
Pause.
The girl, mortified, didn't want him to say his real name again, not because of the curse, but because she actually had feelings for him. She panicked and gave him a new name, Okarun. Inspired by his weird obsession with the occult, she told him that if he ever uttered his real name again, she'd kill him, no hesitation. He reluctantly accepted his rebranding.
Shut up, bitch! Oh my God!
She teased him for liking his new name, and in a moment of pure stress, he let out a fart like a dying balloon. She invited him over to her place bold move. Soon, the two were standing in front of her house. When Ken tried to follow her into the yard, he spontaneously combusted. Naturally, they both freaked out, and she dunked him into a nearby pond like an overcooked marshmallow. Then she noticed a talisman hanging nearby, one of those classic spirit repellents. Apparently, it had been keeping his cursed body in check. She took it down and told him to come in. Ken walked in awkwardly, still steaming, and unsure whether or not he'd burst into flames again. She glanced at his hair and immediately roasted him, saying it looked like an old lady perm.
Damn!
She wasn't wrong. With her grandma out of the house, she invited him into her room. She told him to close the door so she could change clothes. But the curse had other plans. It surged, and he barged into the room like a possessed frat boy. She threw him out without hesitation. The poor guy stood facing the wall, hands over his eyes like a scolded cat, while she changed. Once dressed, she tossed him some fresh clothes, a proper upgrade. She smirked and asked how did it feel now that he no longer had a mandingo. Direct as ever, Momo then explained that he was cursed because Turbo Granny had stolen his sausage. She casually suggested that they check to confirm whether it was still missing. Making her move on Ken Dripakura, he checked, and to his horror, he confirmed it was gone.
Why are you crying?
Then came the blame game. They both pointed fingers at each other for the predicament they were in. Ken admitted that he hadn't wanted to miss the chance to make a friend. That's why he had approached her in the first place. He apologized for dragging her into danger and said that when all this was over, they could go back to the way things were before. She shut that idea down immediately. She said that kind of thinking was exactly why he didn't have any friends, because he pushed people away. Then she told him flat out that she wouldn't ignore him. It was actually a sweet moment until Ken looked her in the eye and called her a bitch.
Yes, bitch, yes! Yes, bitch, yes! Yes, bitch, yes! Yes!
They started arguing again, loud and chaotic. Then ding dong, they both froze. The only problem was she had never heard that bell before. She instantly knew it wasn't her grandma. The house had multiple doorbells, one for humans and one for evil spirits. And just then, it hit her she had forgotten to put the talisman back. They immediately made a plan to fix the situation. But when they looked around, they realized a solid wall was now blocking them. Like a mid-battle villain just summoned a wall so he could monologue uninterrupted for 12 episodes. Worse still, they couldn't rehang the talisman until Ken was out of the gates, otherwise it would barbecue him on the spot. As if things couldn't get worse, Black Fog slithered in like it was loading a Dark Souls boss fight. And their lungs got the memo before their brains did. A massive monster appeared before them, an alien, and he had very questionable intentions toward Momo.
Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police!
Alien declared that they hadn't kept their promise and launched into attack. They ran for it. The alien kept chasing them. They quickly figured out that this was a Flatwoods monster, an alien species first spotted in America in a town called Flatwoods. Momo asked why it rang the spirit doorbell, and Ken explained that he had read studies suggesting that people who saw spirits often also encountered UFOs. The alien ramped things up by unleashing even more poison fog into the air. Momo was struggling trying to keep the monster at bay, while also suppressing Ken's cursed transformation. His hand was already half mutated. Then Ken had a light bulb moment. He proposed letting the curse take over his body but not his mind, so he could use its strength to fight. With no better plan on the table, he went for it. He transformed his new form. He was overflowing with power but also dripping with emotional baggage.
Turn around and die. Turn around and die.
He dropped another Ken Takakura movie quote, and Momo lost it. The alien tried to crush him, but Ken casually ripped its fingers off like he was snapping breadsticks. But the alien dropped into a sumo stance, and Momo realized something they could win by forcing it to put its hands on the ground. A full-on battle erupted. Ken moved like lightning, but Momo got super punched into a wall. She shouted that the alien cheated, its hand touched the ground. And right as she said it, the alien blasted her with JoJo-style punches.
Damn!
But surprised, the beatdown was part of her master plan. It launched her outside the gate where she could safely place the talisman, and turned the monster into a bonfire. She caught Ken, slapped the talisman in place, and boom, the alien caught fire. Finally returned to normal. They had won, but just as they caught their breath, Momo passed out from exhaustion, and the boy began transforming again.
Oh shit, here we go again.
And that's the end of this arc until the next episode drops like a surprise beach filler. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell like it owes you XP. Comment below, or I'll start monologuing my tragic backstory in 3, 2. Don't test me. My story is sad. Until next time, don't die, don't simp, and don't trust talking cats. Catch you in the next episode, unless I trip and awaken my hidden powers mid-grocery run.